Hello and welcome to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard. Thank you so much for joining us for another segment. In this segment, we're going to have a conversation with Lisa Rose, Senior Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer with LifeScan. It's a diabetes management company. She's joining us here to discuss how they've teamed up with former professional football player and popular sports commentator Mike Golic to launch Talking Type U. It's a new campaign that not only acknowledges the personal discipline required to manage diabetes, but also encourages open conversations about those realities. Welcome to Health Professional Radio. Lisa Rose, thank you for joining us this morning.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me, Neil.
Well, give us a brief insight into your area of expertise. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then let's talk about Talking Type U.
Sure, sounds good. Well, my background basically is half my career I spent in consumer goods at a company called Procter Gamble, working on brands like Folgers and Swiffer. And the other half of my career has been in healthcare, working with companies like Novartis, Abbott, Alcon, and now LifeScan. And I'm super excited to be in the diabetes management space with LifeScan. I think LifeScan's on a great mission to really try to empower and improve the lives of people with diabetes. And as I learn more about what it's like to live with diabetes, it really is an opportunity for us as a company to support people with diabetes and our consumers in new ways. And that's the inspiration behind Talking Type U and OneTouch Solutions.
How did you get involved with Mike Golic on the Talking Type U campaign?
Yeah. So we were trying to figure out what's a good way to really get more conversation out in the open about diabetes. Diabetes is unfortunately a continuous and growing epidemic around the globe, not just in the U.S. And, you know, even the CDC just released new data, right, that shows that more and more people, unfortunately, are progressing in their diabetes and glucose management disease. And we realize, you know, that there's not a lot of conversation open about diabetes. And frankly, it's a disease where people can really benefit from the support of family, friends, coworkers, right, their employers. And so we were looking for someone who was passionate about talking about diabetes, what it's like to live with diabetes, who's an advocate for people in this space. And we had an opportunity to meet Mike, and as you might have been able to see from some of his interviews, he certainly is very passionate about how important it is to have that support, have that open dialogue. So we really enjoy working with Mike.
What about the mindset that everyone who's living with diabetes is going through the exact same thing? What do you say to those of us who don't understand what it is to live with diabetes?
Yeah, you know, it's a great question, Neil, because everybody is different with diabetes. Diabetes actually is one of those diseases that affects people differently. And at different points in time, they have different experiences. So everybody's experience with diabetes is unique. It is actually not one size fits all, and it does change over time. And so I think that's really important for people to understand that it's something that you live with ongoing. Unfortunately, there is a perceived stigma around diabetes that is unnecessary and unhelpful, really. And we want to challenge that stigma with Talking Type U, right? We want to help people understand that this can affect people of all walks of life, frankly. And it's important that people feel supported with their journey, however they want to manage their diabetes.
I do believe that the stigma often rears its head when people believe that it's something that you've done or some type of lifestyle that has caused you to live with diabetes.
I think, there is a sense of, oh, you did this to yourself, which is, not fair. And frankly, yes, diabetes type 2, there is an impact for lifestyle choices. That said, there's also a hereditary component to it. And so, it's not just something that you can cure, take a pill for, right? It's how you manage your life, what choices you make in your life, having that positive reinforcement for lifestyle changes. to improve your overall health and wellness is critical. And so that's why, when we put together OneTouch Solutions and we shared, our vision with Mike, he was super positive and supportive on the idea of like, hey, enable people to have access to a weight loss program or diabetes educators, people who they can talk to, text with, right, get extra counsel and support, or have an ability to put your cardiac information together with your glucose information like we do through Welldoc, or really understand your fitness and activity and sleep and the impact on glucose that may have with our Fitbit and premium association there and partnership. So, putting all these different pieces together, people can choose, right? We want to empower people to choose different programs that will help support new lifestyle choices that will help them live better lives. And I think that's the critical piece here, right? Is that you can make changes. And people do want to make changes. They just need they need some support doing it.
Now, just to clarify, this one-stop digital shop falls under the umbrella of Talking Type U, correct?
Yes, it's a program called OneTouch Solutions. And what we do is we provide access through your diabetes supplies to different programs, digital programs. Talking Type U is really a platform for us in some ways to help people understand why it's important to talk about the disease, what you're going through more broadly. And then, as part of that, Mike is also sharing the opportunity for taking advantage of OneTouch Solutions as part of your, positive change management approach as a consumer, right, or a person with diabetes.
Is a lot of the conversation conducted via Zoom meetings, telehealth platforms?
So with Cecelia Health, you have the opportunity to talk live with someone. We find sometimes people prefer voice or text. You can certainly do texting as well. And yes, it can be Zoom or phone or whatever. But, there's all kinds of options to bring in the data and share that. One of the things that our connected meters provides is an opportunity to transmit the data both to a person's physician directly to office, as well as to these different apps, like our Noom partnership. They built specifically a diabetes weight loss program, and our meters will transmit the data over to Noom, so that when you're talking to a coach at Noom, they have all of your data at hand to really give you more personalized support.
And I do understand that there are some sweepstakes that we can enter. Give us a website where we can learn more, see these interviews that Mike conducted with some other athletes, and enter these sweepstakes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, super exciting. So talkingtypeu.com. You want to check it out. You'll hear Mike talking about his personal journey and his story, as well as his interviews with Kyle Love and John Kruk, two other athletes who also have type 2 diabetes and are openly sharing their journey with diabetes. And then similarly, an opportunity to sign up for our sweepstakes. I think the grand prize is like a home gym. And then we're also giving away free subscriptions to OneTouch Solutions. So, check it out.
Well, I appreciate you joining us here on Health Professional Radio this morning. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for this information, and hopefully we'll speak again.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Neil.
You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard, in conversation with Lisa Rose, Senior Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer with LifeScan. Audio copies of this program are available at hpr.fm and healthprofessionalradio.com.au. You can also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Listen in, download it SoundCloud, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Health Professional Radio.